Extremely unexpected US state firsts. Hey there, fellow explorers. Are you ready to dive into the wild and wacky world of American history? Today, we're uncovering some mind-blowing firsts from each U.S. state that will leave you utterly astonished. From the shores of California to the bustling streets of New York, the United States is filled with surprises at every corner. Let's kick things off with a bang. 1. Did you know that the first ever electric traffic light was installed in Ohio, while Hawaii boasts the title for having the highest life expectancy in the country? Talk about unexpected excellence, but wait, there's more. 2. California's fortune cookie invention * California proudly claims the title of being the first state to invent and produce fortune cookies. The origin of this sweet treat is a bit tangled, though. * Makoto Hagiwara, a man associated with the Japanese tea garden in San Francisco's Golden Gate Park, is believed to have created the first modern fortune cookie around 1914. The cookies themselves were made by a local San Francisco bakery called Ben Kyoto. *, however, down in Los Angeles, David Young asserted that he invented the fortune cookie in 1918 while running LA's Hong Kong Noodle Company. He claimed that his San Francisco counterparts retroactively tried to take credit for the idea. * In a dramatic twist, the San Francisco Court of Historical Review investigated the matter in 1983 and ruled in favor of Hagiwara, solidifying California's status as the birthplace of fortune cookies. California. Did you know that the famous fast food chain McDonald's calls California home? Brothers Maurice and Mac and Richard McDonald opened the first McDonald's restaurant in San Bernardino, California in 1948. Back then, a plain hamburger cost just 15 cents. 3. North Carolina's airplane passenger first. Ever heard of the first professional baseball game being held in Indiana or the first successful airplane flight taking place? 6. These incredible firsts will make you see each state in a whole new light. * On May 14, 1908, Charlie, a brave soul, flew as Wilbur Wright's passenger for about 800 feet, making him the first ever airplane passenger in history. * Later that day, both Charlie and Orville Wright achieved a remarkable feat by flying more than 2 miles together in the same plane. North Carolina, where this historic flight took place, can proudly claim this aviation milestone. Get ready to be amazed as we uncover even more fascinating facts, like Rhode Island hosting the first ever circus in the U.S. 4. Arkansas, first woman elected to the U.S. Senate. * In 1932, Arkansas achieved a significant milestone by electing the first woman to the U.S. Senate in a full-term election. Prior to this, women who served in the Senate were appointed after the sudden deaths of their husbands while in office. Arkansas. In 1962, an Arkansan businessman named Sam Walton opened the first Walmart store in Rogers, Arkansas with a $20,000 loan. Today, the discount mega retailer has expanded to over 11,000 stores across 27 countries and generates over $100 billion in revenues annually. 5. The San Francisco Court of Historical Review investigated the matter in 1983. 6. Alabama. In 1836, Alabama became the first U.S. state to observe Christmas as a legal holiday. Remarkably, Christmas Day didn't become a federal holiday until another 30 years later. In 1968, the very first 911 call ever made was made in the small town of Haleyville, Alabama. Before 1968, 0 was actually the emergency number all across the United States. You'd call the operator, and the operator would patch you through to the police, fire department, or whatever you needed. 7. Alaska. The Quirky Hammer Museum, the world's first museum devoted exclusively to hammers, is located in Haines, Alaska. Its extensive collections include everything from hammer sculptures to handle-making machinery and even spring-loaded meat tenderizers. 8. Arizona.
If you're planning local Arizonans created the nation's first Route 66 Association in 1987, leading to the first ever historic Route 66 designation. This breathed new life into the now famous Mother Road. The first ever idea of a fast food drive-through may have been thought about at various restaurants all across the nation, but Arizona catches the distinction of pioneering the practice. 9. Colorado. In 2012, Colorado residents voted to legalize cannabis, marijuana, for recreational use. Both Colorado and Washington became the first U.S. states to do so that year. The book was made with a single piece of cardboard and contained just 50 names, stars and stripes. Banner as the rebels clashed with British troops. That began for stateside locals even before the war ended. 13. Iowa *. You may think of Silicon Valley in Northern California as the tech hub to end all tech hubs, but way back in the day, that wasn't the case. In fact, the first tech hub was in Ames, Iowa. What? In 1937, a professor of physics at Iowa State University named John Vincent Atanasoff began to tinker with what ended up being the world's first electronic computer. 14. New York. The first brewery. The great state of New York can lay claim to what some will consider the most important item on this list, the first public brewery. And it was established long before you might suspect, all the way back in 1632. In those days, the Dutch were the ones who built up and controlled the city. This was long before the United States was an independent nation. Of course, and back then, the Dutch called their colony New Amsterdam. 15. South Carolina. The first opera on February 8, 1735, an opera called Flora first premiered in a makeshift theater, constructed in Charleston, South Carolina. It was a very popular opera in England for several years running. And theater producers were hopeful that its popularity would catch on in America, too. They were right. 16. Maryland, the first dental school. The state of Maryland holds the distinction of opening up the first ever dental school in the United States nearly 2 full centuries ago. And in fact, it was the first ever dental school opened anywhere in the world at the time. See, during America's colonial era, dentistry was very much a hit or miss practice. Don't miss out on these unbelievable firsts that showcase the diversity and ingenuity of the United States. Hit that like button, subscribe for more exciting content. And let's continue to explore the unexpected together. Until next time, stay curious, stay adventurous, and keep on uncovering the extraordinary in the ordinary.